Welcome back, guys. This is the part 2 video for Act 1 with my Russian monk. And just to get all of you who missed the first vid, this in the last video we went ahead and sorry, I lost my train of thought for a second. We fought the Skeleton King and learned that the falling star was actually this guy. Turns out he doesn't remember a darn thing, and we're going to go ahead and pick up a quest to try to get his memory back. So let's go ahead and start with Deckard Cain here. As far as the quests go, they're rather straightforward. And if you ever get lost, although you probably won't, every time you see a quick portal, the little goblet looking thing will show you which area your current quest is at. So it's really hard to ever get lost. And just for all of you watching, I did leave it at Monster Power 1, if you can see that right there. So, didn't jump up the difficulty at all. Figured I'd keep it the same. And this is the Royal Crypts where we found the crown. And what we're going to do now is we're going to first kill this skeleton and go through these gates that was previously inaccessible. And as you can see, we just entered the Fields of Misery. So let's see what we got here. There's a freaking frog-looking dog hopper thingies. Those are always fun. Oh, and the goat men. You gotta love the goat. Just gotta love the goat men. They're not so bad. The minotaurs in this area, that's where you're gonna have to keep an eye out. Because these minotaurs will bombard you like no other. And like I said, inside the map where it tells you where your quest is at, sometimes you'll get a quest like this one where it's in this region. But it won't show up on the map until you get so close to it. Like right now we're looking for a cave with markings like the fallen star was, that blue angel-y looking thing. So just gonna go run around, look for it. Maybe we'll get lucky, catch it early. That would be great. Because I really am not fond of the minotaurs in this region. And I'm guessing, yep, that proceeds to the old mill, which I can't go to just yet. So, looks like we passed over it, so let's go looking through some of this. See if we can't find it. Well, look at that chest. Engaged the old man. Well, that's interesting. And I died. Because for some reason my Q button wasn't working. Because I clicked it. Well, first death in the series. How terribly unfortunate. And this is where it would help to have other people. But what can you do? And as you've noticed, any of you who have played Diablo 2, when you die, you don't lose like all of your armor or anything. It just becomes degraded. So that makes it a lot less of a pain, like in the second one, where you would just straight up lose everything and you'd actually have to go back to the place you died and recollect all your armor and whatnot. So that's one thing that I'm actually happy about. However, I ended up near where I died anyway, so let's go kill this champion looking tree. See, that's what I'm talking about. The savage beast minotaur looking things. Those things come at the worst possible time. Oh, that's why my potions aren't working. Because the message box was open and I didn't think about that. Well, that makes me feel stupid. Anyway, let's go kick this tree's ass. Seeing as now I don't have my message box open, so I won't die. And he was like literally one hit away. That's embarrassing. Yeah, see, these enemies are right along my lines. Because, help me get to level 20. Not doing so bad as far as damage either. I don't know where that chest went. But anyway. Yeah, see, enemies are starting to be 3 hits to get a kill instead of the usual 2. But the one good thing about the monk is that it's all of its attacks, if you're using a staff anyway, the attacks are radial, and it makes it really easy to get kills. Really happy about that. Like in these groups, I can end up attacking more than one at a time, and it makes for really good crowd control, especially during some of the bosses. And the damage I get with being this low of a level is really good too. Really impressed with it so far. I think my biggest issue with my demon hunter is the fact that my gear's not as good, and I just end up using the wrong skills. I think that's actually got a lot to do with it. But we'll see where we can get her with. I think I should be around level 30 something by the time we actually get to the end of the game. So we'll see where it goes. And here you see it, like the little blue runes and stuff. And here we are. Let's just kill these enemies. That way we don't have to worry about them later. And let's get in here and see what we can get. The Khazra Den. Wow, already seems like a real cheery place. Got fires by the exit and everything. Seems like they were expecting us. Or so it would seem. Got cultists over here and everything. Man, it's just like a normal Friday night. Not that I go out with cultists on Friday nights. That's totally not what I was saying. Oh, who's this? Magda. Yeah, and the cultists, like, really can't do much against me. Look at that, 3,000 XP. Let's see what else is here before we go back to Kane. Don't want to leave anything that could potentially be money. Oh, hey, look at that. There's a chest. A Wonga doll. I think that's for a witch doctor. Let's see, is that... Yeah, it's for a witch doctor. Alright, so let's TP. Like, town portal, not, TP a house. That would be a whole different kind of Diablo altogether. There's the town portal, and there's Kane. Let's go turn in this quest. But yeah, if you feel more comfortable using Knuckles and you don't find yourself being overwhelmed as much, feel free to go ahead and experiment. Really, that's the one thing that I love about this game compared to D2. In D2, it was kind of clear cut which skill trees and which kinds of skills took out enemies faster and more efficiently. In this one, you're free to experiment a little more. The only thing that comes into play really is elements. And as you know, like, you use fire spells against ice enemies and it's going to do more damage. That's just, common sense. But for the most part, you can feel free to experiment and see what works best for your play style. But as far as the monk goes, I know for a fact that holy damage does a ridiculous amount. And I know a lot of people have told me that they've been using that because it's so ridiculously strong. And I would definitely suggest if you got a monk and you're using a monk to do that. Yeah, go ahead and equip that instead. Sell that. Yeah, the only thing I'm really not too fond of is the fact that you don't get second weapon slots that you can change on the fly. I thought it'd be really great if you could have a second weapon slot and just switch your weapons whenever you felt like it. I did that with D2 a lot, especially running a werebear druid on D2. I use that a lot. But in this one, you can't do weapon swaps, so. There's a scoundrel's journal, which we'll end up meeting him here in a second. Like, literally a second. He's, like, right up here. See? Scoundrel. There he is. Because, what would D2 be without a thief? It just wouldn't be a Diablo-like world. It just wouldn't work. But anyway, so far so good. And the one really good thing that was most appealing to me with a demon hunter was the fact that with range, you don't have to get as close. So you can keep your distance and change the battlefield from afar. Whereas the monk and the barbarian especially, they're the melee tank classes. And they're always in front of enemies, and they take a lot of the aggro, so to speak. For you army of 2 players out there, you'll totally know what I mean by that. But that was an accident. But yeah, so far I'm really digging the monk class. I'm thinking I might go back and play with my wizard too after I'm done with this. So if there's a certain character that you'd like to go ahead and see, or a certain build that you'd like to see me use, just feel free to comment, and I'll be sure to go ahead and make some vids with that. Would not have a problem doing that at all. And here we are at the Drowned Temple. Here's our waypoint. We can go back to Tristram from here. And as far as the special Give me just 1 second. There we go. And you can also give your ally, as you can see here, weapons and tokens. They have special token items that they can use that will give them added bonuses. Anywhere from the warrior getting like health regen or increased strength to the scoundrel getting increased dexterity, stuff like that. But yeah, you can give them weapons and stuff, and that'll make them more beneficial in combat. Really similar to D2's ally system, so I'm kind of glad they kept it and changed it at the same time. So let's see here. Festering woods. Yeah, they really like their woods and their fields. Gotta say. And they made, in this game, they made it really immersive. Like, you see this new lore tab down here that keeps popping up. Every time you fight a new enemy, there's background information that gets put in there. And you can go ahead and read it, and sometimes there'll be audio logs about it. And it's just extra stuff for you to, that they put in there about the different enemies and the enemy types. And I love it. I think it's great. It makes you feel more immersed in the Diablo universe. Thought it was a really great addition. If they would have done that with D2, I think that would have been a really nice touch. Because most of the time you were just running around fighting bosses because they told you to, and you never really understood who they were and how they got into their position. And I think that's really neat that they did that with this one. And here is the Warrior's Rest, which is our first stop in the Festering Woods. Yeah, I think... Oh, it's a book. And with those books, I would definitely pick them up whenever you get a chance because they do actually give you experience. So, they're not just like little additives, they actually do help you in general. There we go. And there's another chest. Love how you can just run over ammo and pick it up. Just great. So one thing, that's another thing I noticed that's becoming really relevant in multiple games actually, is the auto money pickup, which I don't mind at all. I actually love it. It makes it really hard to go back and play others though, where you actually have to pick up money. Like just recently went back to replay the first Borderlands, and after playing the second one, I found myself complaining about having to pick up money manually instead of just being able to run over it, which is really funny, but it's so true. see, and my next objective already showed up, which is Crypt of the Ancients inside the Festering Woods. Whole bunch of skeletons, which is really great because these are really great ways to get a whole bunch of experience. Because as you can see, I'm taking out like multiple enemies at once. I don't think I would have been able to do this if I was using a knuckles instead of a staff. Really enjoying the staff so far. I think it's amazing. I haven't had any real problems with it so far. And now I just have to go back to the starting point, and it should be good to go. Let's go ahead and get back to the guy in blue, and we should be on our way in no time. Doesn't take long to level up at all either. I have been fighting a lot of champions though. And that's the big piece of it. Fighting champions is a really nice way to get experience. Really nice way. Because they net you a bunch, but early off it's really hard to fight them. I found out with a wizard it really is hard to fight a lot of champions. With my wizard I got lucky and I just kind of ran through it. Just kind of killing what I could as I went along. Because by yourself it's really difficult. Or at least I found it was in solo. This was quite a while back when it first released. And now I can go into the Drowned Temple, where this other shard piece should be. And looky there, it's crawling with undead. Which is okay. It's alright. I ain't got a problem with that. Let's just go ahead and exterminate them and we should be fine. If you exterminate undead skeletons, is that considered genocide? Well, there's your gaming word for thought for the day. Just killing undead skeletons considered genocide. Might have to bring that up to the UN. Or the A-team. No! There was like 3 gold enemies there. And here we go. I might actually have to go repair after I end up killing all these. Wow. Yeah, I do like how they updated it so that now if you die multiple times, the timer doesn't increase by a ridiculous amount. But yeah, the biggest issue with the reason I died the last time is, and this is always an issue of mine, they'll drop a like a fire hole underneath me, and it'll like burn down my health by a ridiculous amount, and I won't be able to recover. Because if you go back and look, I tried to use a potion, but my timer wasn't up. That's another thing they added. They put a cooldown time for potions, so you can't just spam them, which actually makes you try to make sure that you're at a decent level to fight most of the enemies that you encounter. So I think that was a good thing. I don't really have a problem with it. And gotta go grab that shard. Time to go back to New Tristram. That's another thing I like. They make you go back to town, because that becomes a constant thing for you to do, to go back and either turn in quests or, like what I do, go ahead and empty out your inventory. Because you don't ever want to fight a boss and then have full inventory and you can't pick up any of the stuff. I've actually been in that situation before, and it's not really fun. It's kind of annoying to have to deal with that. They also added something else in the game that I really like, and you can actually get dyes and actually color the armor and stuff of your character. I thought that was really neat. Oh, it's for a wizard. I was like, it looks like a staff, but it's not. What the hell? And I've realized what it was. I don't think I'm gonna do that. I don't know where's the other ones at. Yeah, we can go ahead and sell those. Put that there. Okay. But yeah, you can go ahead and buy dyes to go ahead and upgrade your stuff. Or not upgrade your stuff. What the hell am I talking about? To change the color of your armor and stuff, and that's really neat. It was really different. Makes it so you can make your character look like the way you want it to look like. So if you make a wizard and you want her to be a hippie, well, by all means, you can make her a hippie. Talk to the ferryman. Here we are. And to our surprise, there's actually cultists here. Well, I'll be darned. They're always one step ahead of us. And I'm now level 13. Not sure if I'd be able to actually get through all of this because of the power level 1. I might have to drop it down the further along I go. Because I might actually get to a point where I can't kill stuff. It wouldn't be the first time I got put in that position. I mean, I've probably died 3 or 4 times since I started. And there's Magda. She's got a whole bunch of cultists that she's leading to give me a pain. They summon stuff from the Nether Realm. That's totally original. And that's the other thing too. Like, if you notice how that body was just flying around, they actually gave enemies like physics now, so that if you cast them with a spell, they'll actually fly around and stuff. Well, my summoner, my freaking scoundrel who's tagging along, was actually useful. Not complaining about that. At least these NPCs actually do something. Okay. Now into the cellar. I have to go back to New Tristram, save Cain from Magda. It's always the pretty women that are the most devious. I won't say much more on that though. Man, and Kane doesn't live through the first act. That's crazy. Kind of upsetting, too, since he's been with you the entire journey, kind of. Since you always play as a different character in each game, he's kind of been with you the whole way. But it's still sad to see him go. Alright, you can quit talking now. Gosh, Leah, you talk an awful lot. Not that I'm really complaining, but really, you should probably lower it just a little bit. That'd be great, hun. Thanks. Oh, now I can use that. So let's see here. It only increases the maximum damage. My attack speed is reduced, and I don't have any poison. But oof. No, I think I'm going to keep the poison on it. I think the poison will be fine. So we can go ahead and sell that. Let me check and see if I actually have anything else for her. I don't think I do, because I spent a lot of time playing with, well, actually I do. Well, but that's level 61. She ain't gonna be able to use that yet. 62. 60. Yeah, I got a whole bunch of level 60 gear that I got off of my, gosh, what did I get it off of? Can't even think about it now. My Demon Hunter. But I just haven't been able to give it to her yet because, you know, I haven't played with my monk like hardly at all. Really need to get rid of a lot of that stuff that I'm not going to use. But I'll have to deal with that some other time because as of right now, kind of can't. So, no big deal. I think I'm going to change my skills too because I think I'm going to get rid of this. Yeah, I think I'm going to go with that. Try that, see how that goes. Yeah, go with that. There we go. We got new skills too. What's this? Yeah, we can go with that. And what I pretty much did is the Breath of Heaven is a healing skill. So you know, if you really don't want to end up using your potions, you can use Breath of Heaven instead, and it'll heal you and your nearby allies. So in a co-op game, it is invaluable. Oh my gosh, is it invaluable? Like, most important skill in an Inferno game, I'm telling you. And the second skill I picked, which was it? It's the right click here. Wave of Light does a ridiculous ton of holy damage, which is always nice to have. So that's why I picked that up, because I'm gonna need it. And you're probably gonna ask this, but the reason my mana or my spirit right here isn't full is because I picked a skill that increases it, or it's is a passive skill that increases my maximum spirit by like 100. So that's why it's not currently full. It's got a regen up to it. Yeah, and the Caverns of Arene. Now, I will tell you, this is the creepiest place for me. For not liking spiders, I'm telling you, this one place right here is like a death wish for me, because I don't like spiders at all. And yeah, these enemies are not fun. Like, I remember running through it with a few friends on Infernal, and even with a full lobby, it was still, this area was really difficult to get through. So I would suggest just taking your time and just try to be as careful as possible. It does help that I have the Scoundrel with me, because, you know, he can give me cover fire where applicable, which is nice, instead of just running it by myself. And like I said, they're actually decent about NPCs being useful. So that's great. I'm really shocked they didn't make it a trophy, or not a trophy, an achievement on here to have so many buffs active at one time. I was really expecting something like that, but they didn't put it in there, so that's interesting. Like I said, not that it would really bug me one way or the other, but I thought that'd be kind of neat. Have so many buffs active at the same time. And there's a whole bunch of good stuff. Most of it being gold. I usually don't pick up white weapons, especially when I'm like so far at this level. I mean, it's not like I'm level 20 or anything, but see, and that was the Breath of Heaven. Gave me some health when I needed it. Should have probably had that equipped 2-3 levels ago. Back when I was fighting those freaking minotaurs and those trees. Got killed by a tree. That's pretty embarrassing, gotta tell you. Makes me feel bad. Can't believe it. A trained Russian monk, and I got killed by a tree. Now that's some embarrassment if I've ever seen it. But so far so good. Picking up those shrines was a really good move. Because they got me through a lot of the hard stuff. A lot of those bigger enemies, they can really drop you really fast. especially when you're like me and you're only level 13, it won't take much. If you get flanked or get caught off guard, you'll have a real hard time. Or like that, small enemies. Oh, those are so annoying to have to deal with. I'm not even kidding. Here's another journal. Gave me some experience. Yeah, I can tell that when I start playing on the higher difficulties, uh, this Breath of Heaven is going to be an invaluable skill to have. And that happened. I'm going to use this time to town portal, and I'll come back because I need to repair my equipment. Probably should have done that the last time I was here, but I didn't think about it then. I was too busy yakking away. Let's see here. Yeah, it doesn't cost that much. Unlike on Inferno difficulty, where it costs like, 20,000 gold every time. After a few fights, you lose a lot of money having to repair so many times. But so far, the scoundrel's been useful, so I'm happy for that. But I found the exit rather quickly. I don't remember finding it so quickly before. So, that's a plus. And if you're looking at my gameplay vids, I'm really not speed running or trying to speed run by any means. I just really know where I'm going. So don't take this as like the first act is only 2 hours long or 3 hours long. When you first start, just explore the environments and enjoy it. Enjoy the scenery, looking at your character, stuff like stuff like that. I think it took me about, I want to say it was about 6 or 7 hours before I even hit Act 2. That is an amazing skill. I'm so glad I equipped that. Okay, so up ahead is going to be a boss fight. The Chamber of Queen Arane. And I'm probably pronouncing that wrong, but whatever, it's Diablo, I don't really care. So, let's go ahead and hop in here and see what we got. And, see what happens. Yep, Spider Queen is a royal pain. This is the other thing I like about the staff. I don't necessarily have to be directly in front of her in order to do damage to her. I can actually keep my distance from her while using the staff. And I do have the Scoundrel with me too, and that helps a lot because he can damage her from a distance. And there she goes. That wasn't so difficult. Actually got 2 gold items out of that. It's really nice. Use that. Get rid of the web. She thanks you. And now we're in the Highlands. And for those of you who are still thinking it's 420, for one, you're a month late, and two, this is not Cloud9. So, hate to bust your bubble or pop your bong, but, you know, the Highlands is not where all the goat men and the spiders go to get high. So, anyway, now that we're here, let's see, the Khazra, yeah, the goat shamans. Man, Blizzard's got a thing with goats, I'm telling you. Not sure if that's a good or a bad thing yet. Now, the Minotaurs from the Field of Misery, if you remember the Minotaur that, like, completely came in and just raped me in front of that tree, they're going to be in this area a lot. And, they're a lot more aggressive. They're very aggressive. Real pain. So I would highly suggest not getting in a huge group and really taking your time with each encounter and not trying to get too much attention at once. Because what'll happen is you'll be fighting 2 or 3 groups of enemies. They'll surround you, and then that'll be it. Your health will just drop. Just completely drop. This Book of Cain thing is amazing, by the way. We can equip that ring. I don't have a ring on yet, so that's fine. Let's see, what's this? 35, add so much to dexterity. No. Don't need that. Wow, I'm not finding anything better than what I already have. And that's going to be happening a lot throughout the game. You're going to be finding a whole bunch of stuff and then realizing that it's not any better than what you already currently have. Which is fine. That's fine. Not really a big issue. Luckily for me, I have some other stuff as a fallback. I just need to level up appropriately to be able to use them. I don't even know, where are we at? What level am I? I'm only 13. Alright. And here we go. And like I said, do feel free to experiment a bit. Don't be afraid to go ahead and equip another weapon. Because chances are you might end up using a weapon that'll save you a lot of time in the long run. And you might actually end up using a weapon that's better than the one you currently have. See, there was only about 3 or 4 guys there, and they just completely took me down. The difficulty definitely does jump once you hit the highlands. What you don't want to do is end up having enemies on 2 different sides. And see that red lock that he did, where they locked you in place like that, you can actually still attack enemies while in that lock if you're using certain weapon types. Like the staff, since it has a reach, that increased reach makes it so you can still hit enemies from afar with it. So that's another reason I like using it. And if any of you guys feel like you want to go ahead and add me on BattleNet, or go ahead and play with me online at some point in time, just go ahead and be sure to leave your battle tag in the comment section, and I'd be more than happy to play with you, and we might even be able to go do some Inferno runs or something like that. That'd be great. But yeah, the main trick to getting through areas like this is really just getting to know your character and what they're good with. What skills are best effective with what enemy types, stuff like that. Because, like I said, I'm still not good with my playing with my Demon Hunter, and I've been using my Demon Hunter ever since I started. So, like I said, just feel free to experiment and try to get a feel for your character and what she's good with. But definitely, if you're going to end up using a monk, monks are really, really good with holy damage. They do a ridiculous amount of damage with holy weapons. So as soon as you get one of those, you'll probably be golden. Since a lot of enemies, especially like undead enemies, they take ridiculous amounts when you attack with holy weapons. So holy weapons are always a plus when you're playing with a monk. Hopefully I'll be able to go ahead and get a capture card by the time Diablo 3 launches on on the consoles, and I'll probably be making day one vids for that as well. Kind of compare the two versions, see what's different, see what they kept the same, that sort of thing. It'll be really great to see what they change. Because, like I said, they said that everything in the patched version of the game is actually going to be on the console version. So that means they get PvP. I'm not so sure what they're going to do about the skill sets, because they've actually changed what the skills do and like how much damage they do multiple times for all the classes, especially with like the wizard class. The wizard class has had a lot of changes with like regen times and stuff like that. So like I said, I'm not really sure what they're going to do as far as all that goes, but we'll just have to wait and see. And I spent too much time talking and not enough time paying attention. And that's usually what happens. Because I'll be talking and not paying attention to what I'm doing, and I'll just up and die. Not so bad. Scoundrel was sitting there covering my retreat. Appreciate that. Leveled up to 14. And you do unlock a lot of runes for your character with every level too, so that's always a good thing. Let me go ahead and level up real quick. See, Fist of Thunder, I unlocked the second rune for that. Let's stick with this though. What else we got? Breath of Heaven. See, and now that'll Breath of Heaven will actually damage enemies for so much weapon damage by a percentage every time I use it within a certain radius. And now we're in the Northern Highlands, so we're getting pretty close. Pretty close. We're at like the very near end of Act 1. And there's obviously more things. Damn it. There's definitely a lot more things to do here as far as side quests and whatnot, but I didn't know if y'all wanted me to sit here and do like all side missions, or if you just wanted me to run through the game. So feel free to let me know what you'd prefer, because I don't mind doing one way or the other. It's just whatever y'all would like. But I'm definitely digging this monk. She's quite the badass. And so far, I'm really liking her skills and how diverse they are. She's got a really good skill list, I think. I've enjoyed it so far. Got some blue enemies. And there goes my scoundrel leveling up. Yeah, there's just too many enemies. Gosh. Just a ton of enemies. And see that one right there, that teleporter? It was a champion, and that's what was giving me the most problems. And that's usually what's going to happen. Is you're going to end up having like a whole bunch of enemies, and there's going to be like 3 or 4 champions that are going to give you a whole bunch of problems. And you're just going to have to focus on them, because until you take them out, everything else is going to be almost untouchable. Because the champion type enemies are just gonna pound you away, and there's not gonna be anything you can do about it. I don't know how I got teleported that far. Oh, he knocked me back. It wasn't a teleport, it was a knockback. Oh, finally. It's good to see that gold marker. And he was following me all the way down the bridge. Not too smart of an enemy. And this is actually... Oh, shit. Yeah, see, look at that. You see that? That one skill, that wave of light is amazing. If you ever get a chance to play with a monk, get that as soon as possible, because that thing is a beast. Took out like a whole group of those things. When you use it, you want to make sure that it's in a huge group, though. That way you get maximum effect. Okay. Now, we're going to see if that we can get lucky on this part right here. Because when I was talking about Whimsyshire in my previous vid, one of the components, you will be able to first find it here. But it's only a, like, you have a small chance of finding it. It's not always going to be here. And if it's not here, you can always, like, reload the map at a later time and see if it's here. Because the map always changes. So I'm going to show you where it should be. And let's hope that it's here. There's another journal. Okay, it's not here. What it's going to be is, pretty sure this is the right place, but there's going to be like some logs here, and then when you flip it up, there's going to be a kind of like a foot or like a bone that you can pick up, and that's one of the components you need to make the Staff of Herding. And I would highly suggest trying to get them beforehand. That way there's less backtracking involved. And I think, I can't remember specifically because it's been so long, but I'm pretty sure that there's 2 objects that you need in Act 2, and there's only 1 in the rest of them in order for you to make it. So, and for really, there's only 1 in Act 1, or 1 in Act 2 for you to pick up. The other one is there's going to be this little girl in Act 2, and under her list of things that you can buy off her is Wirt's Bell, and it costs 100,000 gold to purchase it. And once you go ahead and purchase that, you just have to find the other one, which is in a mine. And I'll show you that when I get to Act 2. But if you want to go ahead and do the Whimsyshire Easter egg, I thought I'd let you know that you need to at least save up 100,000 for that. Let's see. How much... Yeah, let's go back and empty out my inventory. Really like the fact that they put Kane's book there. That's really neat. Yeah, and I'm finding a whole bunch of stuff for wizards, and that's usually how it'll go. Like, as you're playing through it, you're going to find a bunch of stuff for, ooh, that's nice. For characters that, like, you won't be playing as, or maybe even characters you don't even have stuff for. So I would just go ahead and keep that in mind. But yeah, just keep an eye out for stuff like that. Yeah, that gives me like an extra 7 strength. So that's definitely going to add into my damage bonus. Ooh, that's nice. Yeah, I can live with that. Actually, I don't think either of those are really worth keeping on to, except for those claws. I might end up using those claws. I rarely buy stuff. Since I have a level 60 character, what I usually do is I come here and you can actually forge stuff for your character at different levels, which right now I can only make like a leather belt, but like once you hit like 26 you can go ahead and make this, which is really good to have something at 54 armor. And they just put random enhancements on it. It's all randomly selected, so sometimes you get lucky and you find something really good, or you end up making something really good. But I would definitely suggest making your weapons for sure. Unless you can actually play on Inferno, or you got a friend who can play on Inferno and get really good drops, I would definitely suggest making your own weapons. Of course, you have to upgrade the blacksmith before you can make most of that stuff. But once you do it once, you won't have to do it again. So, gosh. Yeah, those things right there. Those huge freaking troll looking things need to go back to Lord of the Rings. For real. I hate those things. Those things are such a pain. It's not even funny. Yeah, I'm probably gonna die a lot in this section. I always have a hard time with like the last section of the act. I don't know if it's just me wanting to rush or or what it is. Um, I could be under level 2 for running this like I am. Because I have been going through this pretty quick. I mean, I've only been playing this for an hour and a half. So, and I should probably be a higher level. That's without saying. So, yeah, it's probably just the fact of me being under leveled. But if you push through it, you'll get through it eventually. I mean, it's just one of those things where you gotta really, just kind of take your time with it. Do the best you can with what you got. And like I said, all these journals, they give you backstory to the to King Leoric and how he went crazy mad, and I really enjoyed that. I thought it was a really neat way for you to learn a whole lot more about the characters. I was kind of hoping that there was like journals about what happened to like the Necromancer and the other heroes who stopped Mephisto and Baal and or Baal and um, the prime evils. But as far as I know, there's not. which is kind of upsetting. Okay, Knuckles of Starlight, let's see that. Yeah, it's magic damage, and it does like way less than I already do, so that's not going to be useful. Gosh. Telling you that one attack is so powerful. So powerful. It's not even a joke. Wow, I thought an enemy was going to come out of there. I was kind of excited for a second. Then I realized nobody was coming out. Oh, there we go. I'm doing so bad. About to level up again. Oh, see, I hate that. Those enemies getting the better of me. But yeah, what I'm gonna do is I'm also gonna make, when I actually get through all the acts with this character, I'll go ahead and make a vid showing where all the staff of hurting pieces are and how to make it. And then where to go to actually use it. So cool. Using the environments, I just love that. It's just such an amazing, yeah. Don't know how I got caught by that, but I did. Oh well. It's not like it hurt me by that much anyway. just amazing. Like I said, you can use the environments um, definitely as a benefit. Which is what I love because you didn't really have environmental use in D2. You just had to use like raw power to take out your enemies. But with this, you actually can use the environment to your benefit and get the upper hand, and I really, really love that aspect of it. Thought it's really amazing. Yeah, and you get extra bonus experience multipliers uh, based on combat effectiveness. Let's see here. Highlands Passage. Oof. Got through the Halls of Agony. Yeah, see. That skill is so useful. Telling you. It's like a godsend skill. It's exactly what it is. The only bad thing about that is that it requires mana to use, or spirit. Yeah, because mana's the wizard, um but yeah, it costs spirit to actually use the skill, but you can build your skill up by using your melee, or build your spirit up with your melee attacks. So it's not too bad. They only did that though, I think, so that you couldn't spam it, because then you'd be spamming that wall of light the entire time, and you'd pretty much fly through Inferno difficulty without a doubt. It just because it's that powerful, I think. I think it is. I mean, as you can see, that really saved me a lot of times already, and I'm not even using any good runes on it either. Which, by the way, all the runes are unlocked by upgrading, or by leveling up. So you just have to level up to unlock the runes. And if you go to skills, you can actually look and see what levels they unlock. So let's talk to Queen Ascilla, who talks about how her husband beheaded her. Pretty interesting story. Like I said, they really delve deep into the actual stories of the characters with this one. There's Queen Ascilla's journal, which gave me like over 1,000 experience. Also allowed me to level up. Now I'm at 15. which I can say these these enemies are not making it easy. Oh, and here come the fat men again. I was wondering when I was going to see you guys. Yeah, because I totally didn't see enough of you guys earlier. I definitely wanted to come back and see you. They remind me of the oh, what is it? The boomer enemies in freaking Left 4 Dead, whatever the hell those were called. That was so long ago I can't remember now, but yeah, that's what they remind me of. Only the Left 4 Dead ones were more easy to deal with. Way easier to deal with. No joke. Oh, and there's a treasure goblin. But yeah, these enemies don't seem so difficult. It's like Halls of Agony just had a weird like difficulty spike. I don't know. Yeah, and every time you end up defeating one of those fatto beast boomer things, they those freaking snakes pop out. Hate those snakes too. Those snakes are a pain in the ass. I just hate them in general. I don't really have to have a reason. And raping the goblin in the corner. He tried to get away, but he couldn't. And if you're wondering, in this area, you need to free um, enslaved, like, I guess they're undead souls. And I always have a hard time finding them because they're randomly generated. So you just have to keep looking around the cells until you find them all, and they're usually scattered. Like half of them are on one side and the other half are on the other. So they try to even it out, but I always have a hard time finding them. That's just me though. There they are. Oh, this is not going to be fun. Gosh, I hate those things. I'm telling you, those fat things are just a pain in my ass. And that's not even a joke. I hate those. Ah, here it is. Yep, see. That's two of them right off the bat. And there's only 5, so as you can see, it's not so difficult. And I don't really have a hard time killing enemies in this region at all. At least it doesn't seem like I do. It just really depends on the enemy types. Like the fat guys usually hit me pretty hard. But as long as you know how to use your skills and try to take them out without taking too much damage, then you should be alright. My biggest save right now is that I actually started using the Breath of Heaven, which is like an amazing skill to use since it can damage enemies and heal you at the same time. And I got stuck in that wall. It's the one thing I hate. Like, enemies will purposefully stick you in between a few enemies and get you trapped. So you have to be really careful when you're fighting these fat guys. Otherwise, they will try to trap you on purpose. Which is a real pain to deal with. But not so bad. So far, so good. Oh, there's 6 of them. Yeah, there's a summoner down here, so let's get rid of him. And then the other one's on the other side. Oh, but there's also those right there. Yeah, see, if I didn't have that amazing freaking skill at my side, I would have probably died right there. Because those were all champion enemies. And that update is the Warden boss. Which I'm going to town portal and clear out my inventory first before I fight him. I also need to repair my stuff too, so it's the other reason I'm going to go do that. And so far, I have yet to find a specific um, belt for a monk. However, the barbarian does have specific belts, so I don't know if that's just strictly for the barbarian or what the deal is, but that is what it is. Yeah, with the knuckles, it seems that your attack speed is increased by a ridiculous amount. So it's kind of like Bruce Lee's Fists of Fury, which might actually be interesting. Imagine Bruce Lee's Fists of Fury, but only with a Russian monk. That'd be interesting. So I'm gonna swap that out for a second, just to see how it works. Oh, might want to put that back so I can repair that. And let's go ahead and see how these fists do. Yeah, the fists work pretty much the same way as the gosh, I can't even think, as the staff. So they're pretty much interchangeable, at least as far as I can tell. I think I'm gonna end up using this since it does more damage than the staff. I lose my my poison damage, but it does more damage overall, so that's not too bad. Yeah. And this is where you find out that he actually, or King Leoric actually beheaded his wife. Because he thought that she was conspiring against him. Which you later find out that King Leoric was actually bewitched by his own advisor. So, spoilers, but not really. That's all D1 stuff, pretty much. And here's the last Halls of Agony level before the final Act 1 boss. So, home stretch, everyone. Let's see if we can actually get her done. Wow. Yeah, the attack speed is ridiculously faster. Which is okay. I don't mind that at all. It's really good. Not to mention the increased damage as well. That's always a welcome addition. Seeing that wall of light pushed all the way back to those enemies just standing there, sending in their minions. So, technically speaking, wall of light can actually be used to force enemies up to you, because you're still going to hit them. Yeah, I'm doing a ridiculous amount of damage so far. Yeah, she's pretty much nothing but a judo master. And so far, she's pretty darn good. Gotta admit. If I had some fists with some holy damage, then I'd be really rolling in some good stuff, without a doubt. Without a doubt. I don't remember so many resplendent chests being in this area, though. Which, it's fine, I don't mind that. Garak the Afflicted. I don't remember this guy either. That's alright. Do not mind that one bit. Yeah, that wall of light is a really powerful skill. Truly amazing stuff right there. Okay, so it looks like this is the home stretch. Yep. So, let's see here. Let's see what we got. Yeah, let's go ahead and clean out inventory first. And, see what we got. I think this will be the lowest level I've ever taken to the butcher. So, let's go ahead and go through this. And, see what we can do. Yeah, that grapple he's got, that blue shimmering grapple is like the worst thing a boss could ever have. Knockback. Oh, he ran into the fire. Yeah, stupid him. And there's that grapple. Stupid freaking grapple. Hate that. Yeah, this breath of heaven is like saving me right now. That's not even a joke. Uh-huh. Oh, shoot. Not a big fan of that. Yeah, those freaking the fire on the floor, not to mention his grapple. Not the best combination. I'm actually shocked I have not died yet. Oh, no. See, and that's where I get freaking burned. That's so stupid. I hate these grates. I think they cheat, but that's just my own personal opinion. That was really close. No. Need to find... Oh, that was really close. Gosh. Yeah. Oh, that was a rough one. Man, was that one rough. But I did it. Definitely did it. Wow, Scoundrel, really? So, at level 15, I defeated the Butcher on normal monster power level 1. I feel absolutely accomplished. Absolutely accomplished. I am so pleased. Now it's time to go save the stranger. And looky there. Of all the people it could be, it was actually Tyrael. It's good to see that they actually gave him a face in this one. And the Scoundrel and I both leveled up. That's good to see. Let's see. 3 bolts fired at once. Explosion on impact, 25% weapon damage. Is arcane. Yeah, let's go with that one. And his last skill, he'll get that at level 20. So, and with Tyrael's memory restored, you have a new assignment. Oh, well, I'll hold on to it. We'll see. Finally get something with holy damage, so I don't want to just pitch it. Okay. So let's talk to Tyrael and watch the ending of Act 1. It's so funny because he's still got huge freaking hands compared to Leah. And there you have it. A great conclusion to Act 1. Now, Act 2 takes place in Chaldeum, where we will finally face off against Magda and rid the world of Belial, who is one of the Lords of Hell. So hopefully you enjoyed the gameplay. As always, like, subscribe, leave comments and suggestions, and let me know what else you'd like to see, and I'll make sure it happens. Until next time, good night all.